All right, so this problem is almost identical to the warm-up from yesterday, with the exception of it's compounded continuously. We got Mikey, got his $100, 2.3% interest. Yesterday's was compounded daily. Today's is compounded continuously, which is the new formula we learned yesterday, which is our PERT formula. So when it says write the function for it, your principal, your amount invested is the $100, e to the RT, so 0.023T. Cool. So there's our equation, and we're going to evaluate it at 15 years, and we're going to look for when it triples. So I'm going to go ahead and use my calculator for this. So 100 E 0.023x. There we go. So it should work. Remember, E is just second ln down here. We're going to learn a lot more about that in the next few days, but for now, just need to know where it's located. Then we go to our table. And 15 years is $141 and about 20 cents. Now, if you remember this problem from the day before, we got the same exact answer. So when it was compounded daily, we got $141.20. When it was compounded continuously, we got the same answer. Now, technically, this one is a tiny bit higher. This one's like 1.98. I believe the other one was like 0.197. And the thing I want you to take away from this basically is recognizing that continuously compounded means it's getting compounded instantaneously. And like we saw in the notes, that approaches this E number. And so it doesn't go to infinite dollars. It starts to kind of levels off at this E value. So doing it daily and doing it continuously do not make a giant amount of difference unless you have a huge amount of money invested. You know, if this was, let's say, millions or billions more, then moving these decimals starts to matter. This being a 7 versus an 8 would be significant in those types of scenarios. But when we're talking money in the small amounts of money, it doesn't do too much. And then it also says how long till it's tripled. So we would just be looking for when this equals 300. Again, same thing as we did the other day. And I believe it takes the same amount of time, essentially. It's between 47, 48 years. Basically, that 48th year is when it triples. So again, the takeaway here is the more times you compound something, the larger the value is going to become, but it doesn't get infinitely larger. It does bottom out, and it at this E value is kind of the top level of compounded interest. Okay. So given the choice, you want things compounded as much as possible if you're investing, or as least as possible if you're taking a loan out.